What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining the Glad's Horror Channel, the best horror channel here on YouTube. And this episode of History of Horror is going to be a little bit different. I didn't expect to do this one, but because of the passing of Ruggero Deodato, I figured we need to just delve into the importance of his legacy and what it had to do, like the impact that he had on horror. So this video is going to be about Ruggero Deodato and Cannibal Holocaust. So first and foremost, rest in peace to Deodato, and my heart goes out to his family. He was 83 years old and passed yesterday. I need to start doing these for all my History of Horror. When somebody passes that's huge in the horror world, then they definitely need to mention it. And this is my first time doing this, but I will do this going forward with whenever I find out, about things like this. So Deodato is probably the most daring and unapologetic horror movie director, and that's saying a lot, because a lot of horror movie directors have pushed the envelope, and there will be a lot more to push the envelope. What Deodato did with Cannibal Holocaust, now let me back up some. He has done a plethora of movies. I personally have seen none of them aside from Cannibal Holocaust. The legacy of his cinema is strong due to Cannibal Holocaust, but that's not to say that's all he's done. This is all I've seen, and that is the biggest credit in his filmography. So that's why I'm only talking about that, because that movie alone had so much of impact when it came out, and it was so many different myths and truths and half-truths about that movie once it came out that it needs some kind of clearing up here. So in the 70s, there was a terrorist group called the Red Brigade that was terrorizing Italy. And Deodato, the Italian media used to show clips of the things they were doing on regular TV. And Deodato was watching these things like, how could they show these people being killed like they are? The things that were happening, he was like, these images are just flooding into anyone that's watching in their minds. And he was like, to the point where he thought this had to be staged. This can't be real. But he was like, well, what if somebody did that? What if someone just took a movie and made it look so real that you couldn't turn away? We can give the found footage, the rise of found footage, or the start of found footage, we can give credit to that to Deodato. Enter Cannibal Holocaust, I believe it was 1983. Now, Italian horror had already been known for pushing the envelope and being ultra violent, ultra bloody, ultra gory, and just being very over the top. So to be in that space and still be head and shoulders above some of that stuff takes a lot. So this is there's an interview I watched with Deodato that he said he wanted to make a movie that you could not turn away from, and that would be talked about for decades, centuries, just until the end of time. And everything that you would think, well, he won't put this in there, he did. Oh, well, he can't put somebody getting raped, a woman getting raped. Yes, he can. Oh, he can't put an animal being killed on screen. Yes, he can. And he did. He raised that. Not only did he kill animals on screen, they were not prop animals. They were real animals. He cut private parts off of people, no, those weren't real. But you don't know that when watching this movie, because there are some real parts mixed in to this fictional film, to the point where there was a myth for years that he had to bring his cast and crew before a jury to prove they were alive because he was being charged. It turned out to not be true. There is a TV show on Shudder, I forget the name of it, but it delves into the truths of all the myths of, sort of around some of our favorite movies, and they debunked that in that out of the mouths of Deodato and the cast members themselves. Now, I saw this movie first in my 20s, and I saw it with the idea, I saw it intentionally, because back then I was trying to find the most intense horror movie I could see, and I would just watch multiple movies back to back, and nothing could faze me. I watched this movie the first time. There's a certain scene that came, and I turned it off, and it took about a month maybe after that where I ended up watching the rest of the movie, and I've only watched this movie maybe 3 times. It's not an easy watch. It is, but this is what Deodato wanted. And he wanted the kind of jarring impact to make people say, "Oh, whoa, what did we just see? What were we watching? Was that real? I don't really know." And just turn away. All those negative reactions fueled him, and he, out of his own mouth, says that he made the movie he wanted, and his goals being reached. The cast and crew hate it. They don't like to be. They regret being a part of it. Most of them. He seems to be the only one that really truly loves it is Deodato, and crazy fans like us. If you haven't seen Cannibal Holocaust, as a fan of horror, you owe it to yourself to give it a look. Now, I just stated some of the themes that are in the movie. If you can't watch those themes, by no means do you need to, but depending on your horror movie fandom, especially if you're a fan of found footage would not be what it became here in America if it wasn't for the success of Cannibal Holocaust, because that movie broke the mold when it came out, and Ruggero Deodato is the man behind that. So in the history of horror, in the annals of horror history, he deserves credit. He deserves some praise just for being that guy that took that chance. Whether some people said, it's not for me, whether people tuned away more, maybe he made more people upset than he actually got on his side. That's his thing. That has nothing to do with me. I watched it as a fan, and it took some time to get through it. But it is a kind of watch that, when you know what he was trying to accomplish, and you look at it, you're like, yeah, he did that. Yeah, mission accomplished, sir. So for that, Deodato, I wanted to take some time and just do a history of horror on him to brief just his impact and the impact of Cannibal Holocaust. If you're new to this horror channel, this is the Glad's Horror Channel, the best horror channel here on YouTube. I do all things horror. I have another history of horror channel, or history of horror episode coming out either later tonight, or tomorrow, or maybe New Year's Day, depending on the time of release. But I do history of horror, I do top 10 lists, I do movie reviews, I take requests as well. So thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. I'll see you guys next time.